Hey everybody, my name is Brayden Oski.
And I'm Austin Morales, and you're watching The Inner Gamer On.
Today we'll be talking about the new Valve game from the Half-Life universe called Half-Life Alyx. It is exclusively on virtual reality headsets, and it's back. It's not Half-Life 3, but it's Half-Life. Let's find out what it is. Y'all, this is kind of a momentous occasion here, that what we're about to talk about.
It's a stake in history.
It's your birthday.
It's my birthday.
Yay!
It is.
End of
It's
the
my
podcast.
birthday. And this was my birthday gift right here. Valve announced last week that they are going to reveal their flagship VR game. And that flagship VR game would be a Half-Life game. And now that flagship VR game has been announced and revealed as Half-Life Alyx. Half-Life Alyx is exclusively virtual reality. Between the events of Half-Life and Half-Life 2, Alyx Vance and her father, Eli, mount on an early resistance to the Combine's brutal occupation on Earth. So it's in between those events, and you see what happened to them during that period of time. So it's like an in-between-isode. It's a full-blown game. Not only is it in VR, but it's for all VR systems.
Oh,
minus
even
PSVR, sorry.
All VR systems that are on PC.
That supports Steam VR.
Yeah, Steam VR. That's it.
Yeah, compatible with all Rift and Vive and Valve Index. But if you have the Valve Index, you get it for freezies. So it's not going to cost you anything for that. This game looks really, really good as far as just the visual detail, the world that they built in here. Seeing the freaking head crab jumping at you at the very beginning.
Ugh, say that.
There's a part where you start rummaging through this cabinet to find a bullet to then load in your gun and reload. Like,
that was amazing. Like I was watching the gameplay and he had his hands up. Well, who do you play as?
She. Alyx.
Yeah, you play as Alyx. And she goes through the shelf and you see two shotgun shells sitting there. And she grabs it, unloads, puts the load in. Bang, bang, bang.
One of the things that a lot of people notice and there's kind of controversy about this, Alyx does not have arms in this game. You play armless virtual reality character.
Yes.
And I saw on PC Gamer, there was 2 articles released. One said Alyx needs arms, and it said Half-Life Alyx has floating disembodied hands. If you want real immersion, Valve should give her arms too. The same day, another article on PC Gamer came out that said keep Alyx armless. And it said Alyx doesn't have arms in Half-Life and doesn't need them. Arms aren't immersive in VR. They're a distraction. So 2 conflicting arguments, both on PC Gamer. I thought that was interesting that they went that route. I find it weird, but I also kind of see why they did it. Because if you have the arms, you're now having to take into consideration the height and body type of the person that's playing. And then arms can be kind of weird because it's not actually tracking your arm. So like, you know your arm's doing this, but it may not be doing that in the game. So it might break that immersion a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of okay with it.
There are VR games that have arms. People like those games. I mean, there's a lot of VR games that have no arms. I don't know. Maybe have an option there. Like, do you want arms or do you not want arms? The biggest deal is that in an interview, the devs mentioned that they are working on other Half-Life games.
Oh, yeah.
So we are getting additional Half-Life games. I was very excited about this, but also concerned at the same time because it's like, well, everyone doesn't have VR. And as excited as I am to play a Half-Life game in VR, it's like, is this really going to move the needle, or is this just a marketing point to sell the headset? On the positive note, it's going to put more VR into the houses of gamers. It's going to put more money into pockets of VR developers, which we need to continue to grow and improve.
The whole reason Steam ever made it big was they had a flagship title, Half-Life 2, release on Steam. And that was the catalyst that pushed it forward to where everybody needed to get Steam and play on Steam because of Half-Life 2. And then they continued down that path with Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 and all these exclusives for that platform. So if they can repeat that process with this game and make it really good, that could do the same. I don't think it'll be as revolutionary as Steam because I think the Valve Index is still too expensive at $1,000. It's definitely out of most people's price points.
Yeah.
But the fact that they made it work across the board was a very, very smart move. And so now it's device agnostic. Anybody can get it. And that's going to be a big, big deal.
And one more thing is some of the people who did work on Half-Life 2 and all that stuff, they did come back for this game.
Oh, wow.
And probably continuing forward with the other ones. And I'm hoping the other ones are more traditional.
I feel like it will be. I mean, this is a great build up for it.
I hope so. Well, I feel like they're going to connect the dots up until Half-Life 2. and then maybe they'll do a Half-Life 3. Because like, why start here? Why not just do Half-Life 3? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's coming out March 2020.